dig up a past I swore would stay buried.
You will always be a monster.
Ares! I have nothing more to hide.
The ghost of Sparta had been born.
Valhalla was absolutely crazy. What an amazing move from Santa Monica Studios. This video is not spoiler free, so click out now if you don't want any spoilers, but holy cow, I was blown away. Everything from the return of the Cyclopes, the soundtracks, the sirens, minotaurs, harpies, the legionnaires, and wraiths, it all blew my mind away. I didn't expect this many additions to the game in a free DLC. I mean, they even gave us young Kratos back. They even turned him into a skin that we can use both in Valhalla and New Game Plus. Albeit in the story, young Kratos is just a model and he doesn't speak, and the centaurs and the cyclopes are really just reskins of the ogres and stalkers, this whole DLC was still more than I expected. I suppose it would have been cooler if they had returned the original bigger designs of the centaurs and cyclopes and allowed the players to rip the eye of the cyclops out. It also would have been better, I guess, if we had the ability to pull wraiths from under the ground, or if they had made harpies bigger and had brought back their original assets, if you know what I mean. Same with the sirens. I think they should not have changed their designs. Or imagine if we saw red orbs return, or the OG chests. Or imagine if we had heard young Kratos speak in this scene.
There is no forgiving you. You chose!
Imagine if we had heard the original voice of Kratos, TC Carson, right there, and heard him say something along the lines, "I chose nothing," before old Kratos realizes that it is in fact not the projection in front of him that made the decisions he ended up regretting, but was himself. That would have been cool, I guess, but regardless, this free DLC was phenomenal. I mean, we got the Blade of Olympus. That's pretty much a whole weapon on its own. They also brought back the Aegean boat, the Desert of Lost Souls, the Forum where we killed Hercules. They even brought that one location from God of War 2005 where we burned that one Athenian soldier to a crisp. They brought back Magni and Modi as goddamn boss fights. Overall, this DLC exceeded my expectations. I'm just being nitpicky. But the question on all of our minds now though is, what's next? In Valhalla, we saw Kratos face his past, confront his inner demons, break reality itself, and accept his past actions. He literally broke Valhalla. That's how strong he is. Kratos was not meant to free Mimir in this scene, but he did so with his sheer strength, just as he forced the doors of Valhalla open when he was not supposed to be able to. The reason it's okay for Kratos to die in there is because he's not fighting the same monsters from reality. The monsters he's facing in Valhalla are much stronger versions of figmented fractions of his imagination. So his repeated deaths are justified, since the one thing that he is being defeated by is in reality himself, his own mind. The manifestations of creatures in Valhalla, while appearing stronger, are ultimately born from Kratos' own experiences and memories. They may seem more formidable due to the exaggerated representation of his past conflicts, but they remain rooted in his mind. That is why Magni and Modi also appear to be harder in the DLC. This is also explained by Mimir.
I think I know why I fight Thor's sons.
Do tell.
Like Atreus, they were children of a destroyer. Had I not changed, had I raised him as I was raised, subject only to authority, perhaps his fate would have been no better than theirs.
So, they reflect a bad road not taken? A fate avoided?
Perhaps. I also feel pity. Failed by their father, sent to die by their uncle, and belittled in death by their grandfather. What chance did they ever have?
Am I hearing guilt, brother?
Some. Perhaps imagining a fair fight is to honor them as life did not.
Kratos' mind is trying to make Magni and Modi stronger in Valhalla since he feels bad for them, and this sort of makes Kratos feel less bad. Therefore, Kratos is essentially facing his own inner demons rather than external threats. His repeated deaths within Valhalla can be attributed to the mental and emotional struggle he endures, constantly challenging his own memories and battles. But what about Tyr? Is Tyr stronger than Kratos? Tyr's involvement adds another layer to this intricate narrative. Tyr, being a deity known for his strategic prowess and knowledge, might possess the ability to outmaneuver Kratos within the confines of Valhalla. This could result in scenarios where Tyr appears to gain the upper hand, especially if the player is defeated by Tyr. Even if the player faces defeat at the hands of Tyr during specific encounters, it's crucial to emphasize that Kratos' strength, resolve, and sheer willpower are unparalleled. The final showdown between Kratos and Tyr, where the player must emerge victorious to progress, underscores Kratos' inherent superiority. This conclusive battle serves as a testament to Kratos' enduring strength and resilience, emphasizing that despite the challenges presented by Valhalla and its manifestations, Kratos stands as the ultimate force to be reckoned with. We also get to see Helios in the DLC. But why Helios? Why is he the only Greek god we see in this game? In the DLC, the only Greek god we see is Helios, and that's probably because Helios is the only Greek god Kratos feels bad about killing. When Kratos killed Helios, Helios wasn't even attacking him. Helios was fighting another titan who at the time was not Kratos' ally, and Kratos himself even attacked the same titan later. Kratos really just hunted Helios and killed him, even though Helios saved his life before in Chains of Olympus.
Lest we forget, Kratos, lest we neglect to place your deed in full and proper context, I saved your life. Me! And you literally tore off my head for my troubles. Imagine if all your new friends knew how you used to treat your old friends. Of course, you're not the same man, right? Now, you only get your friends killed through lack of foresight. Far easier to blame others that way, am I right?
I know you are a projection of the mind, but for what it is worth, the death I gave you was unjust.
Oh, how touching. Yeah, not actually worth the spittle it took to mumble that out. Do not do that again. Nobody wants to hear that from you.
Valhalla seems to bring back gods from Kratos' memory that he feels sympathy or guilt towards. This is why we saw the return of Magni and Modi as well, but no Baldur. As explained in the DLC, Kratos felt bad for Helios, Magni, and Modi. Kratos doesn't feel bad or regret killing Baldur, as Kratos has stated before, and that is why Valhalla didn't conjure him up.
I do not regret saving your life, and never will. But the choice between life and death should have been yours to make.
The final thing I want to go over is what happened to Kratos at the end. We know he chose to put himself in service and become a god once more, but the question is, did he become the god of war once again, or the god of hope, as the trophy at the end suggests? It really couldn't be clear. Kratos claimed the title of God of War. It's a no-brainer, but that is the position Freya asked him to take.
Brother, I must admit, Freya's idea does make quite a bit of sense to me. What better god of war could the realms ask for than the general who won Ragnarok, and won it trying to save lives? With you on board, our whole peacekeeping council could really do some good.
This position, this title, I have held it before. You know what happened. She knows what happened.
Of course we do. But why should who you used to be matter more than who you are now? Can't you see how far you've come?
However far I have come, I have done it running from that life, that title, that throne.
Why?
The role Tyr prepared him for.
Dear, why help prepare me to take your old position? Why not fulfill it yourself? You seem capable.
To the mortals of these realms, I am an ancient myth, long out of mind. The days I could hope to unify these realms are long past. But they see you as the hero of Ragnarok. You are known, respected. And from what I have seen, you're the most qualified by far. You need only be ready.
The function that Kratos accepted, it is his defining title.
Who's returning from the front gate for once? Something must have happened in there.
I take it this is a good sign.
I will join you. I will try to be what the people need.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that. And that you found what you needed here.
I could not have done so without my friends. I am grateful.
Valhalla is at your disposal, Kratos.
Besides, we can't have the next game called God of Hope. It just won't do. But the thing is, will there be a next game? Honestly, I'm not even too sure. They hinted at other mythologies in the game with the Aztec, Egyptian, and Japanese weapons, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be actually seeing these pantheons in future games. Or who knows, maybe we will, and that's the order we will see them in. I know someone on Twitter from Santa Monica Studios hinted that there is more to the story after the credits of God of War Valhalla. I'm not sure if that means that there's more to the God of War Valhalla story we haven't discovered, or if they're referring to the beach scene with Sigrun, or possibly a sequel to Ragnarok. We'll just have to wait and find out. One thing's for sure though, it seems like there is a remake of the original trilogy in the making. And oh man, if that's the case, I am excited. I would love to see a reimagination of the Greek saga. More story, more mechanics, more brutalness, and more assets. Again, if you know what I mean. The only problem is whether they would be able to bring T.C. Carson, the original voice of Kratos, back to voice young Kratos. I know that has been suggested that there is some tension between Carson and Santa Monica Studios, but come on. We'd love to see him return, and I'm sure he'd love to return for his fans as well.
Was Kratos like your first big video game voice?
Yes. Yes, he was. First main character. Yeah.
Right. And that was God of War, which is one of the top selling video games ever?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Can you give us an example of Kratos?
Zeus! I'm coming for you!
Love it. Love it. Such a great game, by the way. I played the last one.
Yeah.
On PlayStation 4. I know you weren't in it. By PlayStation 4, someone else had taken over.
Right.
But such a great game, such a great concept. And I guess at one point, they gave the voice of Kratos to Christopher Judge because they needed to combine like the live action with the voice, and he was kind of bigger. So explain that.
Well, before they were using two people. They were using me for the voice and another mocap actor for the body work. And in the last game, I just don't think they did mocap on me, and I don't think it really worked because I'm small. I'm not and I don't move like a big guy. I move like a small guy. And so Chris is a lot bigger than me. He's like, I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", something like that. He's a big guy. And so it made sense to me. Again, it was how it was done. That's all. I mean, as an actor, you lose jobs all the time. You are done with jobs all the time. But when somebody lets you go, it's a respect thing for me. Just come and talk to me and say, hey, thank you for your service, but we're going in a different direction. Never got any call like that.
But in the case they cannot bring him back, I'll be more than satisfied with a remaster of the games where everything is the same, but with just better graphics on a better engine. Honestly, with everything they have shown us in the DLC, and with all the Greek creatures they showcased, it's not too far-fetched when I say that there could be a remake in the making. I was right about the return of the Harpies, Minotaurs, and other Greek monsters. I was right about the return of young Kratos and Tyr. I was also right about having the Blade of Olympus making a comeback, and I believe I may just be right about Santa Monica Studios working on a remake for the original God of War trilogy. The whole point of the DLC is for Kratos to forgive his past mistakes, so that he may finally rule as the God of War with actual authority and maturity. The whole point of the DLC is for Kratos to realize that he cannot let his past dictate who he is anymore. This is something that God of War 3 tried to do, but was not as effective since it focused more on Kratos forgiving himself for killing his family rather than accepting his actions, moving on and understanding that he has become a better person. This DLC changed Kratos from just a vengeful, rage-fueled killing machine to someone whose story is actually much more complicated than just that.
Yes, I fell to my death and was saved by Helios, but this memory happened before I killed him. My evils were yet to come. What is the point?
That your legacy has always been a complicated one.
Because of Valhalla, you can't say that a lot of people will not be open now to the Greek saga, that they won't want to explore it in this newfound light Valhalla gave us. People can no longer accuse Kratos of being a shallow character in the Greek games because Valhalla proved otherwise.
You are cruel and arrogant and selfish. But you are more than that. You have always been more than what others saw.
I believe this DLC was a stepping stone for Santa Monica to remake the old games, to introduce Kratos' past to the Norse fans. The reason I also believe it is probably a remake of the original trilogy that Santa Monica Studios are working on and not a remaster is because I think Santa Monica Studios would want to add or focus more on Kratos' character while staying true to the OG games. Please, Santa Monica Studios, a remake would be amazing. I mean, just look at how I reacted to some of the most surreal parts of the DLC. What? Wait! They brought it back! No way! Oh my god, this is so surreal! Oh my god, the attacks as well! They're the same attacks! This is so surreal! This feels like a remake! Oh my god! Yes, give me more! The Blade of Olympus! What? Oh my god! Oh my god! They've been they've been holding back on us! This wasn't just me, a lot of people felt the same way. Anyway, God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. This game is so beautiful, man. I won't lie, it made me cry. The soundtrack, man, the soundtrack! Oh my god, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry, man. Oh my god, I love this game. Thank you, Santa Monica Studios. Wow. I don't know why the fuck I'm crying. Why the fuck am I crying, bruh? And the fact that the DLC ended the same way the first ever God of War did, it's just beautiful. Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, started off by acquiring the position of God of War since he had nothing to lose, and then ended up regaining that same title to protect everything he knows. Beautiful. Anyway, shout out to Prosper, the first official Give Me God of War member of the ABDB community. I am very grateful for your subscription, Prosper. You already probably had early access to this video as it is one of your perks, but hit me up if you would like to collab or join me on a live stream where we could just chat or play a game of your choice. Also, if I could have your Instagram username, I would love to add you to the Gods of War Council group chat. Your comments will be my top priority as it is one of your perks as a Give Me God of War member of this channel. For anyone else who wants to dig into the membership perks of this channel, just click the join button down below to see the perks of each membership tier. Join with Demigod status to gain access to the Gods of War Council where you can discuss your theories, ideas or more. Other than that, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more content just like this.